is that this could happen to you at any given moment and you wouldn't be able to control it. But the good thing is that I'm going to leave you as prepared as you can be for if it ever happens, and that way you won't be as terrified as I was. So let's do this. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome back to Little Droplets. My name is Do, which is a soft and relaxing thing that has nothing to do with the topic that we're treating today, nor with the topic of the next few videos probably, because it's October and you know what that means. But as someone who doesn't do DIY nor makeup videos, I have to resort to a different type of Spoopytober themed videos. So I decided to talk about the single most terrifying experience I ever had in my entire life, which was the time that I got sleep paralysis. So not only is this a good opportunity to do a horror-related storytime video, but it also is a good opportunity to help. Because if I can help people be prepared for something that could happen to them at any given time and that would leave them possibly traumatized or at least hurt, then I'm going to help people. Just keep this in mind. This could happen to you and you should be prepared, because that way you won't suffer as much as I did or as much as other people do. There are some people on the internet with stories that are like 10 times worse than mine. I swear I don't even know how they deal with it without having a heart attack. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead with the storytime kind of part of the video and give you my experience with it. It happened at my boyfriend's apartment back when we had a different living arrangement in the living room. We had this arrangement so that he could be in the computer and I could move the couch to be right behind him. And I mostly did this to watch him play stuff, but I would also take naps right behind him, which made me feel safe and secure. He would sometimes cover me with stuff if he saw that I was cold, or he would wake me up when I had been sleeping for too long. It was a very good arrangement for me. Until the day that this happened. Not unlike any normal day, I felt tired. I told him I was gonna take a nap and to wake me in like 15 minutes or something like that, and I just went to sleep, not thinking twice about it. You know those times when you sleep and you feel that between the moment you close your eyes and the moment you open them, no time has passed at all, even though you know you got like 8 hours of sleep? That's how I felt. I felt like I had slept for like 3 minutes, but weirdly I was very energetic. I was recharged. So I decided, hell, I'll just get out of this couch and clean and cook and do all of those annoying things that no one wants to really do because I have a lot of energy right now. But as soon as I tried getting up, I realized that I couldn't move. I couldn't actually control a single muscle in my body. The only thing that I could move was my eyes, but that wasn't very helpful because I was right behind my boyfriend, so all I could do was look up a little bit and see his entire back and a little bit of the screen. I tried to move my muscles, but nothing was answering my commands. Not my hands, not my feet. I couldn't move a single thing in my body. But he was so close to me. He was with his back turned on me, but he was centimeters apart. If I could just stretch my finger, I thought, if I could just stretch it a little bit and graze him with my nail. I started panicking and I realized that I needed to do something, anything, so that my boyfriend could realize and help me. So I opened my mouth and I called for him and no sound came out. I tried to be louder and louder. I was screaming at this point inside of my mind, but anything that managed to come out of my throat came out as a low, almost inaudible rasping sound. My boyfriend was wearing headphones, so there was no way that he could hear, but I was terrified, so I just kept going. I kept yelling and yelling, waiting for him to hear me and help me, but my mouth, my throat, my tongue, everything started feeling dry and like it was cracking up. Because up until this point, I had dismissed the fact that I was having troubles breathing. I'm a very allergic person who has some level of asthma, so not being able to breathe okay is something that can happen any single given day. I didn't think it was anything other than normal until my chest started feeling like it was physically compressing. Like someone was physically grabbing it and trying to clamp it down, to the point that I was taking surface breaths. You cannot imagine the internal mess that I was at that moment. I was panicking, I wasn't able to breathe, I wasn't able to talk. I had the feeling of my throat cracking down and everything in my mouth was dry. My muscles weren't answering, I couldn't move a single finger. What made it even more terrifying was knowing that even though he was centimeters away from me, I was at the mercy of something happening that made my boyfriend just feel curious and look my away so that he could realize that I was literally breaking down right there, centimeters away from his back. I have no idea how much that lasted, and according to the internet, it can have been more than a couple minutes, but it felt like hours. And I felt so incredibly, impossibly relieved when my boyfriend actually saw me, shook me up, and let me cry in his arms for I don't know how long either. So, that was the story of my worst experience of my life. And that wasn't even the worst kind of sleep paralysis that you can get. I was lucky because apparently sleep paralysis more often than not comes paired up with hallucinations. And I don't mean hallucinations like in that Dumbo scene with the pink elephants. I mean hallucinations like tall dark figures that stare at you, or whispers and voices that you know shouldn't be in this room. And I don't want anyone to suffer through that, not knowing anything, not understanding what's happening to you or your body. It's horrible. So I'm going to help you get prepared for if that ever happens to you, okay? Now the worst thing about it is actually the not knowing and not understanding what the heck is going on. So you got that covered now. You know that if it happens, it's a natural thing that could happen to anyone that has these characteristics. It's sleep paralysis. So what I'm going to give you next is a list of tips and tricks that people who suffer from this chronically use to get themselves out of the paralysis. 1. Try to move a single finger. Put all of your energy into moving that little part of your body. If that works, start trying to clench your fist, opening and closing it. If it doesn't work, then stop trying to move and jump onto one of the next ones. Number 2, instead of resisting, try to go with the flow. If you feel like you're getting pushed into the mattress, try to go into the mattress yourself. If you feel like your chest is being compressed, try to make yourself tiny. Just don't fight against it. Help it move through your body. Number 3, scrunch your face. Try to do like you had smelled something rotten. Number 4, focus on your breath and only on your breath. Take long breaths in, hold them for a second, and then let them go slowly and make sure that all of it is out. And then repeat that. And number 5, focus all of your mental energy into thinking about something that you love. Dogs, cats, birds, your favorite music, your OTP, it doesn't matter. As long as it's something that you love and that you can find comfort in, then think about that. Just focus on that. If you ever go through sleep paralysis, try these things out. Write them down if you need to. Share them with friends and family so that they can stay in your brain a bit fresher. I don't care what you do, but just try to remember them because I don't want you to go through that. I don't want you to go through the suffering that is sleep paralysis with no tools to combat it. And if you can remember only one thing, don't open your eyes. As I said, I was lucky. I didn't get any hallucinations at all. It was only physical. But if you do, it could severely mess you up and give you a lot of panic. So if you realize that you can't move your body when you wake up, don't open your eyes. Try one of these techniques. And if all of this freaked you out a little bit, sorry, but at least you're prepared now. And also, if you maintain healthy sleeping habits, you are much less likely to have any problems with sleep paralysis. So sleep a good amount of hours. Always, it's a good advice anyway. So even without the sleep paralysis thing, sleeping a good amount of hours is good. I don't think I have a lot more to add to this, so you tell me. Have you ever gone through sleep paralysis? And if you haven't, first of all, lucky you. Second of all, what is the most terrifying experience that you've ever gone through? Leave a comment and tell me about it. Hit the like button if you found this video to be interesting or helpful, or if you think it can help you in the future. And I post new videos every Thursday, but you should just subscribe and hit the bell thingy because that way you don't have to remember and YouTube can tell you. As for myself, I wish first of all that you don't go through sleep paralysis ever, but also I wish you a very good day or a very good afternoon or a very good night or whatever time it is when you're watching this, and I will see you next time. Bye! Be prepared so that they can have the less worst experience of their lives. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. What did I just say? And I will see you next time. Or a very good afternoon, or a very good night.